That's me. I've got to get myself up round the art galleries. I always give them a clean-up on a Friday afternoon. Oh, that reminds me, actually. When I was up there before Christmas, they had those pictures. Do you remember them pictures? I don't know what they're called, the Pre Raphilites or something. You know that one with that Lizzie Siddle, what was in the bath? I don't know whether she was in the bath. She looked like she was in a bloody bath or something. Anyway, they'd drawn a picture of her. Who was it? That John Millet, something. Anyway, he drew a picture of her, that Lizzie Siddle, and she was in the bath, you know. And then apparently the history says that after she had that in the bath, she got herself the double pneumonia, she did. She caught her death of cold, she did. And with it being the late Victorian, they hadn't really, well, in those days, they hadn't even discovered your antibiotics and your penicillin and everything. And the only one, they didn't even have paracetamol. I mean, the only thing they could give her was your morphine. So, long story short, she ends up dying quite young, she did, of taking too much morphine. And I said to that bloke up there, you know them posh ones that are always giving those lectures, oh, look at this means this, and like... I said to him one day, I was cleaning up like that, you know, like you do, trying to make yourself invisible. Not that I'm bloody invisible, I mean, you couldn't call me invisible, could you? But I was cleaning up like that, and I said to him, funny how they called themselves Pre Raphilites. And he said, how so? I said, well, when you think of it, it's a funny thing to call them, really, isn't it? He said to me, no, they've called them Pre Raphilites, he said, because your Holman Hunt and your Dante Rossetti, whatever his name was, and the other ones, right? And your Millet, they were calling themselves Pre Raphilites because they wanted to be in reaction to the Royal Academy of Art, which had only recently, I don't know, about within the last 10 years before they sort of getting themselves together, and they called themselves the Pre Raphelite Brotherhood. And they were doing it to annoy the Royal Academy of Art, because the Royal Academy of Art was just advocating for your Italo, Greco, sort of classical art, really. And they wanted to form a reaction against it. That's why they called them the Pre Raphilites. And I said to him, well, that's worth knowing. Oh, so I never knew that before. And he said, yes. I said, only I did think to myself, it did seem like a really odd thing to call themselves, really, considering that Ninja Turtle died in the Renaissance period. And I mean, I'm not being funny, everybody knows that. So there you go.